Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear Venerable Sangha, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to join us in this weekly Buddhist Newsreel on PHUC online channel. Hereafter, 6 major headlines of Buddhist activities of the week. The Central Culture section of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha surveys Vietnam Buddhist pagoda architecture. Hải City Buddhist Parochial Board organizes Buddhist Congress for TENURE 2022-2027. Most Venerable THANH re-elected to be chairman of Vĩnh Phúc Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board, TENURE 2022-2027. Gia Lai Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board holds Buddhist Congress, TENURE 2022-2027. Da Nang Buddhism Intermediate School organizes a graduation ceremony for school year 2019-2022 and opening of the school year 2022-2023. Hải inauguration of City Buddhist Parochial Board at Nam Hải Pagoda. And following are the news and details. To prepare for the scientific seminar on Vietnamese Buddhist architecture, unity in diversity, and summarize of the tenure of the Central Board of Culture section of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng, head of the Central Culture section of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, in collaboration with the Institute of Religious Studies, the National Museum of History, the Institute of Heritage Conservation, conducted a survey of more than 40 typical temples in 11 provinces in the East and Southwest region for 10 days from September 16 to 25, 2022.
On the first working day with Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board, the team surveyed 7 temples belonging to the sects Mahayana, Theravada, and Mendicant. On the second day of the survey, the team surveyed 5 typical temples for sects in Dong Nai, emphasizing the purpose of the survey. Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng, head of the team, said that this is one of the 4 major projects: Dharma uniform and ritual clothing, language, architecture, and heritage that the Central Board of Culture section of the Vietnamese Buddhist Sangha implemented during the past time. The board is responsible for finding the characteristic of Buddhist architecture in order to manage the value of the cultural heritage left by the ancestors. The team surveyed Thượng Chiếu Zen Monastery, Long Thành District, founded in 1974 by Most Venerable Thích Thanh Từ, Đại Giác Pagoda, Biên Hòa City. It is a testimony to the early days of ancestor journeys to open land in the south, spreading Buddhism, associated with the unrequited love story of the Nguyễn Princess when she fell in love with national master monk Liễu Đạt Thiệt Thành, followed by the survey on 300-year-old pagoda, Long Thiền Pagoda, Bủ Hòa Ward, Bủ Phong Pagoda, Bủ Long Ward, and Phước Sơn Monastery, Phước Tân Ward, by Most Venerable Thích Bủ Chánh, the abbot. On the third day, the team surveyed 6 temples in Long An and Tiền Giang provinces. In Long An provinces, the survey team worked at Tôn Thành Pagoda, Cần Duộc, Long An province, was built by Zen master Viên Ngộ in the 7th year of Gia Long with the original name of Lan Nhã Pagoda, which is ranked as a national monument, with a plate cell bearing the oration of memorial of Cần Duộc combatants by poet Nguyễn Đình Chiểu. Long Phước Pagoda on the south bank of Vàm Cỏ Tây River, Ngọc Tâm Vihara, Tân An City, Long An Province, and in Tiền Giang Province, the team surveyed 3 pagoda, namely Pháp Bảo Pagoda, Bửu Lâm Pagoda, and Vĩnh Tràng Pagoda. The journey is going to the 4th day. The team surveyed at 3 points: Ngọc Viên Vihara, Vĩnh Long Town, viewed by PAROCHIAL monk Minh Đăng Quang, Giác Long Pagoda, Tam Bình District, and Hạnh Phúc Tăng Pagoda are the final destination in Vĩnh Long Province, and 3 pagodas in Trà Vinh Province, including Lưỡng Xuyên Pagoda, Ân Pagoda, which is ranked as a national heritage, and Cây Hệ Pagoda also. On the fifth day of the survey, the team was present in Sopchang province to survey Kerlang Pagoda with its history of nearly 500 years, then the Bat Pagoda, Sralon Pagoda, also known as Chankil Pagoda. During the first 5 days, the survey team collected materials of initial successes in architectural characteristic, layout, space, landscape, worship system through the architecture of 27 temples in 7 provinces in the East and Southeast regions. The purpose is to assess the current status of Buddhist architectural heritage, research on the characteristic, unity, and diversity of Buddhist architecture in different regions as a basis for planning and orientation of conservation and development of Vietnamese Buddhist architecture in the coming period.
On the morning of September 19, 2022, Haiphong City Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board held the City Buddhist Congress TENURE 2022-2027 at Nam Hai Pagoda.
In witness, it was honored to have Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng, Deputy Dharma Master of the Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA, Most Venerable Thích Quảng, Deputy Dharma Master, Chief Secretary of the Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA Council of Patrons, Most Venerable Thích Quảng, Chairman of the Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA Administrative Council, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Pháp, Head of Monastic Affairs Section of the Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA, Most Venerable Thích Bảo Nghiêm, Head of the Central Board of Dharma Enactment Section, with the attendance of the Reverend Honorifics, Honorable Monks, Chairman of the Congress, local authorities, and more than 300 delegates. After the opening remarks of Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng, the entire Congress watched the video report summarizing Buddhist work for the 2017 to 2022 tenure of the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board. In particular, the social security work of the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board in the previous tenure reached over 75 billion Vietnam dong. In recognition of the contributions of collectives and individuals who have made positive contributions during the past 5 years, the Congress awarded certificates of merit and anonymously nominated Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng as head of the City Buddhist Parochial Board for the tenure 2022 to 2027. Speaking at the Congress, Mr. Ngô Sách Thực and Lê Khách Nam also highly appreciated the Haiphong City Buddhist Parochial Board in the cause of national construction, defense, and development. In his blessing words, Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng praised the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board in tenure 2017 to 2022 and encouraged the newly elected Buddhist Parochial Board to try to do better in its new tenure. Speaking at the Congress, Most Venerable Thích Quảng recognized the success of building the city's Buddhist education system with the high school and intermediate school of Buddhist studies. In particular, on this occasion, Nam Hai Pagoda and the headquarters of the City Buddhist Parochial Board have been rebuilt more spaciously to be inaugurated and put into use in order to well serve the Buddhist activities. The Haiphong City Buddhist Congress closed after the closing speech of Most Venerable THANH.
On the morning of September 21st, 2022, the 5th Buddhist Congress of Vĩnh Phúc Province, term 2022-2027, was held at the Provincial Conference Center.
In witness, it was honored to have Most Venerable Thích Thanh Dũng, Deputy Dharma Master, Chief Secretary of the Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA Parochial Council, Most Venerable Thích Thanh Nhiễu, Vice Chairman of the Monastic Affairs Board Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA, Most Venerable Thích Bảo Nghiêm, Head of the Dharma Enactment Section, Most Venerable Thích Gia Quang, Vice Chairman of the Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA Administrative Council, Head of the Information and Communication Sections, Most Venerable Thích Quảng Hà, Vice Chairman of Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA Administrative Council, Most Venerable Thích Thanh Điện, Vice Secretary General of the Central Office 1 of the Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA, with the participation of local authorities and more than 500 delegates. In his opening speech, Venerable Thích Thanh Lâm said, Buddhism in Vĩnh Long province always looked at reality with the wisdom of Buddha followers, and through the Congress, the venerable dignitaries will focus on discussing, promoting, and overcoming the advantages and disadvantages to implement Buddhist activities better in the next term. In the past term, the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board achieved many Buddhist results, in which the Provincial Buddhism has joined hands with the government to contribute to social security work with many charity activities reaching more than 51 billion VND. In the spirit of solidarity, harmony, and wisdom, Buddhism in Vĩnh Phúc province is determined to do well in important Buddhist affairs in the coming term. The representative of the local government, Mr. Vũ Trí Giang, Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, acknowledged the merits of province Buddhists and hoped that the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board would continue to accompany and build a growing, civilized and modern homeland. At the ceremony, the Vietnam Fatherland Front Central Committee, Vĩnh Phúc Provincial People's Committee, and Provincial Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee awarded certificate of merit to collective and individuals who have many positive contributions to the work of the Fatherland Front and social security in the province. The Congress agreed to nominate Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng to be the head of Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board. In his blessing words, Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng appreciates the efforts of Vĩnh Phúc Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board and believes that the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board will be growing for the better and more prosperous in the future.
On the morning of September 16, 2022, the Gia Lai Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board held a Provincial Buddhist Delegate Congress for tenure 2022-2027.
In witness, it was honored to have Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng, Chairman of the Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA Administrative Council, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Pháp, Head of the Monastic Affairs Section of Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA, Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng, Vice Chairman of Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA Administrative Council, in charge of 5 provinces of the Central Highlands, with the venerable dignitaries of Gia Lai Provincial Buddhist Parochial, and the venerable dignitaries and honorifics presiding over delegation, representatives of local authorities, and more than 400 attendees. In his opening speech, Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng emphasized the importance of Provincial Buddhist Congress in the spirit of discipline, responsibility, solidarity, and development. With faith and wisdom, the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board is committed to serving the Dharma and the nation, actively contributing to building an increasingly civilized and beautiful homeland. Provincial Buddhism continues to strive to fulfill its goals and responsibilities in the coming tenure. During the last term, the Gia Lai Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board has achieved many remarkable achievements, and at the same time, joined hands with the government in social security work with charity activities, reaching more than 55 billion Vietnam dong. In recognition of the achievements, the Congress awarded certificates of merit to the collectives and individuals who have made many positive contributions to the Buddhist activities for the 2017 to 2022 tenure. The Congress candidates agreed to nominate Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng to be the head of Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board. In his blessing words, Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng appreciated the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board under the guidance of Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng, especially on the successful organization of Cam Lộ Giác Đạo Grand Ordinance Sima. And the Most Venerable believes that Gia Lai Buddhism is more developed in the coming tenure.
On the morning of September 18, 2022, the Management Board of Da Nang Buddhist Intermediate School held a graduation ceremony for the 2019-2022 school year and the opening ceremony of the 2022-2023 school year at Pháp Luân Pagoda, Da Nang City.
In witness, it was honored to house Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng, Vice Secretary of the Standing Committee of the Council of Patrons of Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA, Most Venerable Thích Thanh Quyết, Rector of Vietnam Buddhist University in Hanoi, Most Venerable Thích Hải Ân, Rector, Vietnam Buddhist University in Huế, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Toàn, Head of the Da Nang City Buddhist Parochial Board, Venerable Thích Thanh, Provincial of Bình Định Buddhism Intermediate School, Venerable Thích Tín, Principal of Da Nang Buddhism Intermediate School, together with venerable monks, venerables, nuns, monks, lay people, and representatives of local authority among the attendees. In the opening speech, Venerable Thích Tín, Principal of Da Nang Buddhism Intermediate School, affirmed that education should always be paid special attention to, helping people to create, build, and develop a rich and strong society to highlight the cultural life of each region. Education needs to be on the right track to bring about lasting security and happiness. At the ceremony, the school awarded graduation diplomas to 232 students of the courses, including monks, nuns, and lay Buddhists. On behalf of the organizing committee, Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng sent his thanks to the Vietnam Buddhist SANGHA High Priest, the Central Buddhist Education Board, the Da Nang City Buddhist Parochial Board, leaders of authorities and benefactors who have contributed intellectually, financially, and material resources in kind to help the school achieve many achievements in recent years. The graduation ceremony program for the academic year 2019-2022 and the opening ceremony of the school year 2022 to 2023 has been successfully completed.
On the morning of September 18, 2022, the PHONG City Buddhist Parochial Board held the inauguration ceremony of its headquarters at Nam Hai Pagoda, Lê Chân District, PHONG City. This is a key project to welcome the Buddhist Congress at PHONG City for the tenure 2022-2027.
In witness, it was honored to have the venerable dignitaries Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, representatives of authorities at various levels, and the participation of monks, nuns, and Buddhists. After rites, Most Venerable Thích Quảng Tùng delivered opening speech and reported on the construction process of the headquarters of PHONG City Buddhist Parochial Board. The headquarters of the PHONG City Buddhist Parochial Board at Nam Hai Pagoda was built in the shape of the character Gong on an area of 1,550 meters square. The pagoda has 5 floors and the construction cost is about 170 billion Vietnam dong, supported by businesses, monasteries, monks and nuns, and the Buddhist laities. In his blessing words, Most Venerable Thích Nghiệp, Deputy Dharma Master of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, praises PHONG City Buddhist Parochial Board for having made great efforts to build the headquarters of the Provincial Buddhist Parochial Board, and the Grand Bell Tower Nam Hai Pagoda is a great construction contributed by Buddhist monks and nuns to monastery. The Most Venerable wished PHONG Buddhist monks and nuns to be successful in their Buddhist undertakings. Mr. Lê Khắc Nam, representative of the authority, also acknowledged the contribution of the city's Buddhism and the inauguration of the headquarters of the City Buddhist Parochial Board, which creates favorable conditions for the city's Buddhist activities. At the same time, it is a congregation place for religious activities of local monks and nuns and Buddhists. After Most Venerable THANH gave a speech of thanks to the venerable dignitaries and honorifics and attendants, the venerables performed the rite of ribbon cutting to inaugurate Nam Hai Pagoda, and the headquarters of PHONG City Buddhist Parochial Board officially put it into use.
Venerable monks and nuns, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, the last news has started off this weekly Buddhist Newsreel. Thank you for your attention and following. Goodbye and see you in the next program on PSO TV channel. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha.